Yeah, this isn't bulletproof or anything like this. This is the idea behind this, and correct me if I'm wrong, is to keep those stars, those little circles with the stars from starting, and then the cracks developing afterwards.
Yeah, I mean, right, like it's meant to be destroyed, right? So it's not going to last forever, but your everyday highway rocks and pebbles, those little ones that, you see coming, or how the hell did that thing get there? That's what the
Right.
film is made to do. It's going to really eat that stuff up all day long.
This interview episode is brought to you by Tyree Off-Road. Lights for people that need to get shit done. Visit tyreoffroad.com right now. That's TYRI offroad.com. Adventure doesn't wait for a cracked windshield. Windshield Defense by Racing Optics is like a screen protector for your phone. Triple layer, race tested, and installs in just 20 minutes. Save 20% with code JTS20 at windshieldefense.com. The clear choice. Hi, boys and girls. It's time for another, well, use all the words, Tony. It's time for another Jeep Talk Show interview episode, and we're going to be talking with Tyler. Tyler has been working with Racing Optics for almost 5 years. He has a 2021 Jeep JL Sport and enjoys cruising with his dog, Bella. Did I get that name right? Is it Bella?
It is Bella, yep.
Bella. So when he's not working, you will find him playing golf. I think golf would be a wonderful pastime. I'm just waiting for him to air condition it, because I think it's a little too hot out there for fat boys.
Yeah, especially down in here in Florida. You get your workout in whether you like it or not.
Yeah, well, I'm over here in Southeast Texas, so we have about the same weather.
Yeah, so you feel my pain then.
Oh, God, yes.
Literally.
It's horrible. You can find out more about Racing Optics by their other name, Windshield Defense, and I'm betting some of you guys have seen this, probably right after you took a nice star pattern or a crack across your Jeep windshield. Like, how the hell can I keep this from happening again? Well, windshieldefense.com has a solution for you. All right. So as you said here in the intro, Tyler, you've been there for 5 years. Has this been the main product that you've been working with for the last 5 years? What do you do there at Racing Optics?
Yeah. So for me, it's been the main one. Windshield Defense is kind of its own, I guess, division from the umbrella that is Racing Optics. So yeah, I kind of focus in on that, which, it might be just categorized as streetcar market, mainly just windshields.
Mm-hmm. So obviously Jeeps, the Wranglers, the Gladiators, and I think Wranglers all the way back to before they were even Wranglers, CJs and stuff, they all have almost a somewhat vertical and flat windshields, which I believe lends itself to cracks and chips and stuff from debris coming up off the road or the Jeep in front of you. Most of the time it's 18-wheelers, but we won't go that road. So what other vehicles? I mean, you guys don't just sell for Jeep stuff; you sell for all kinds of vehicles, and in the racing world as well. So was it racing before it became the end user, the general public, solutions for the general public?
Yeah, so it really started out with racing. To give you kind of the quick rundown of it, the two owners, Bart and Steve Wilson, their dad, Dempsey Wilson, was a professional race car driver back in the 50s. And he used to race in the Indy 500. So he used to use glass goggles, a couple pairs of them, and he would switch them out as they got dirty. And obviously that isn't very efficient, but that's all they had at the time. So
right.
Years down the line, Bart and Steve figured out, there's got to be something better. So Racing Optics tear-offs are born. It started off in motocross, and a guy named Ricky Carmichael found out about it, used it in a race. He lapped the field, I don't know how many times, but a couple times. And that really kind of set the market for it. So, people weren't sure what they were looking at. So it's
amazing how well you can drive when you can see. I think that's
right. Great. People were literally stopped wiping their helmets off or face shields, whatever it be. And meanwhile, Ricky's flying by them. So that kind of catapulted it.
That's going to be wonderful.
Like NASCAR, IndyCar.
When you have a product and you know how good it is, it's hard sometimes to get people to buy into it. And that's great advertising.
Right. I mean, it's hard to argue that the fact that, he won by such a large margin. People kind of saw the legitimacy of it and hopped on board with it. Oakley being, I think, one of the bigger ones, the first ones that if you buy a pair of goggles from them, we're on all their goggles. So it's clear and private labeled, so it's hard to tell, right? Obviously, but yeah, that was a big jump, and got into professional racing. Bart and Steve thought, there's this giant windshield market out there. How do we get into that? Turns out, looking it up, it took 5 minutes to figure out that Jeeps are the leading contributor to broken windshields. I think it was 250 or 300,000, something crazy like that in 1 year. So yeah, they figured out, they developed a process to optically index layers of film along with adhesive and hard coat to create windshield defense. So they went out and bought a Jeep, I think broke the windshield within 3-4 days, something like that, and off we went.
So I think you just said something that is a critical piece of information. Optically indexed, I believe you said. What does that mean?
So, yeah, I mean, it's a hard thing to do, right? Not really anybody has been able to figure it out, especially as clear as they've made it. So they can put multiple stacks or multiple sheets of film together along with the adhesives and hard coats in between them, which normally that can raise issues when you're putting them together. And they've been able to figure out a way to make it so clear that it doesn't really change VLT. It doesn't, adjust your vision at all. So, really, if you had it on there and you didn't know, you wouldn't be able to tell. That's just how clear they've been able to make it.
How long has this product been out?
Windshield Defense itself, it's tough to say. It's a mixture between racing products and Windshield Defense. So Windshield Defense, more or less 5-6 years.
Okay, so it's been out there for a good long while. Certainly long enough for you guys to find out if it wasn't going to work for the general public.
Yeah, I mean, it's really more or less, it was testing at the beginning. Let's just make sure that we have it right before we put it out there, because Racing Optics likes to, make sure that we put out a solid product that we can stand behind versus putting something out there, figure it out if it works then, which, we don't do. But yeah, like racing tear-offs, those have been out for 20 plus years. So, I mean, we've been doing the quote unquote technology for a while, but the street car market, just, give or take a year or two, 5 years or so.
So let me ask you this. The tear-off market, for the racing, the racing folks, that, would they like go to a pit and it would get torn off? I mean, obviously you can't reach out there and tear it off the windshield while you're driving. Or are they just wearing the goggles that?
Yes and yes.
Okay.
So, yeah, I mean, it's both in the pit and during a race that you can do. If it's on a helmet or visor with posts on it, we make a product for it, which obviously are just visor size, versus the windshield where you pull into the pit, you have a pit crew guy come in there and just tear them off.
So they, the windshield, I mean, the ones for the, and I guess it probably depends on the helmet and how much area you have there. Are those also tear off, or can it be tear off?
Yeah. So, I mean, somebody that might run a race with the helmet, you could run really as much as you want to, but like stacks of 10, you might run 1 or 2 stacks of them, have 10 or 20 of them on there.
Wow. So you literally have 20 layers
it's
on
crazy.
there.
I mean,
that's amazing. I mean, but to keep the clarity, that's really, really very important. So you guys know how to keep the clarity with a bunch of layers.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, 3 stacks might start to be where you might see some, illusion of it. But
right.
Other than that, yeah, I mean, you don't notice it on there.
Well, so it's a different standard in racing, isn't it? Because even if you have a little bit of distortion, not having a bunch of debris on your visor is still going to be better with a slight distortion than.
Yeah, I mean, you put up with it for the first, lap or two, right? Versus the end of the race when you need to see, right? Obviously, and you can't. So it's a little I guess.
So I don't want to throw any shade towards this, but I think everybody understands what window tint is. You put the window tint on your vehicle. It makes it nicer inside. It's dark. It looks cool. This is a lot like window tint, except it's for the windshield. which I think we all know you can't do legally.
Well, it's funny you say that. So we've been asked a bunch of times, is it tinted? Can you make it tinted? Which, I wish we did, but dealing with the legalities through every state is a nightmare, as you can imagine.
Right.
So we just kind of X that and decided let's just stick to clear and be done with it.
The tint obstructs your view, and you guys don't want to obstruct your view, especially out of a windshield.
Right. I mean, you can still put tint on the inside and this on the outside. It's not going to affect it. But yeah, we didn't do any tint versions of it.
And that's the important part too, is this is on the outside, because the idea behind this is to protect that glass, keep it from breaking. So how did you guys test that? Did you get a bunch of BB guns and get some beers and you guys went to town?
Kind of all the above. I mean, we've done the professional version of it. We've done shooting at it. We've done throwing rocks at it, all the above. Right. So, but yeah, I mean, more or less we've shot some, steel ball bearings at it from, anything from 70 to 100 plus mile an hour, testing to make sure it didn't break glass, which it didn't, and crazy how fast it was going. 100 mile an hour would, hurt somebody pretty good, but
sure,
this film stood up to it. So it's pretty impressive.
So does the protection go down as you go through layers?
Yeah. I mean, right. You're going to lose the amount of plastic on there. So like windshield defense is 3 layers, right? So as you tear a layer off, there's just naturally going to be less amount of protection there. But we did test it as well, each single layer too. I mean, yeah, it was probably 80 mile an hour or so that we were shooting at a single layer and it didn't crack glass on it. So, I mean, compare that to a rock on the highway. It'd have to be a pretty big rock to be able to go through and crack glass.
Yeah, this isn't bulletproof or anything like this. This is the idea behind this, and correct me if I'm wrong, is to keep those stars, those little circles with the stars from starting, and then the cracks developing afterwards.
Yeah, I mean, right, like it's meant to be destroyed, right? So it's not going to last forever, but your everyday highway rocks and pebbles, those little ones that you see coming, or how the hell did that thing get there? That's what the film is made to do. It's going to really eat that stuff up all day long.
Yeah, which is nice. I mean, my personal my personal experience, not with the product, but with the Jeep windshield, is brand new 2021 Jeep Gladiator. And by the time, I don't know, by the time it was less than a year old, or maybe just over a year old, I had a crack going all the way across. I had little stars here, there, and watchment. And that was just driving back and forth to work, 20 miles one way on I-10. So the factory glass, this wasn't Gorilla Glass. The factory glass was just horrible at cracking and stuff. And then I did get it replaced with Gorilla Glass. Insurance did that, cost me $250. And now it has a crack in it. Something hit at the very top of the windshield, and it almost immediately cracked all the way down. It's way over on the passenger side, so I don't notice it. But still, it'd be nice not to have a crack or any damaged glass, so you can see through your Jeep windshield clearly.
Yeah, I mean, if you're anything like me, if I notice it, it's going to be hard to forget, even if it's all the way on the other side. But still annoying nonetheless, right? You pay this money for a nice new windshield, and it cracks or chips a day later. It's kind of like one of those, the heck is going on here?
Mm-hmm. So if you guys are thinking, oh, I've got Gorilla Glass, I don't need this. No, you need some protection. And I think that, and I had heard about you guys before we scheduled the interview and did some other discussions. And so I was really excited to get you guys on here. And you and I think we talked through email, because I was telling you about the Gladiator being cracked like that. And you can't install this on chipped or cracked windshields, can you?
Yeah, I mean, you really wouldn't want to. It doesn't
seal properly, probably.
Yeah, a crack especially. I mean, the adhesive's going to run along the crack instead of settling on, what new glass or flat glass would be. So, I mean, you're going to see basically water and a bubble running down your windshield, which nobody's going to want that.
Right.
So yeah, we just recommend get a new piece, new windshield in there, put this on day of or the next day, and, just start from there and not have to worry about it anymore.
Yeah, I was just going to say that would be the time to do this. Is you're finally getting that, or you finally talked the insurance company into replacing your windshield, and they're going to replace it. Now's the time that you actually, I think you should have the windshield defense product sitting there ready to go, because Murphy's Law. As soon as you get the, you're planning on doing this, and as soon as you get it replaced, boom, it happens almost instantly. You go, I wasn't even driving, and it happened.
I mean, Jeeps too, they know better than anybody. I mean, it's not if, it's when, and then it's how many times, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So, just curious, I was going this direction earlier and took a turn. So what kind of legalities did you guys have to go through to put window tint on the windshield? I would imagine that it's a DOT process or something, and it has to be different for every state.
Yeah, it's really just the VLT of it, the visual light transmission, like how dark can you make it? And, but to have to do that, like, to give you a comparison, we used to do it for iPhones or cell phones, and there's so many different variations of it. It's really just not worth it at the end of the day. So, the DOT is saying you can do this here, you can't do it there. You got to do this here, you can't do that over there. So it's really not, it's a headache at the end of the day.
All right, so I got to ask this question. What about in California? I mean, I know it's got a cancer warning. I'm sure, because for people that try to eat the windshield defense product, but is it legal in California?
It is legal. It's legal.
All 50 states.
Oh yeah. Legal everywhere.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about
international is a little different, but we don't have to worry about that. But yeah, continental U.S.
Oh, let those rat bastards have cracked windshields. We don't care.
Yeah. But yeah, we're good over here.
Good. So installation. Now I know that there's some people out there that have never installed the tinted film, and I would assume that this is somewhat similar to doing the same thing. I mean, maybe they don't feel comfortable doing their own window tint, but for the people that do, would they be able to install this product?
Yeah. So tint, right? You have to cut it and form it to your window, right? Obviously, and let it dry. This we already do for you prior, so it shows up in the box, ready to go, shaped to your windshield. It's JL, JK, whatever. It's shaped to go. So all you have to do then is squeegee using soap and water and squeegee that out, let it dry. So if you're a DIYer or you want to do it yourself on your own Jeep, which a lot of people do, you can certainly do it. I was not very good at it, if I'm being honest, when I first started. It took me probably 30, 40 minutes. And it came out fine. So, I mean, it's not crazy hard, but again, if you're not comfortable with it, then yeah, take it to a tint shop or a Jeep dealership or somebody that works with film or vinyl tint, something like that. And it takes them 20 minutes.
So it doesn't require a windshield or optical racing installer. You can take it to where people put window tint on your vehicle.
Yeah. I mean, any local tint shop really shouldn't have an issue doing this.
And they're probably familiar with your product. I would imagine you guys have some pretty good sales on this product. I mean, all it takes is a couple of broken windshields and people saying, what the hell? There's got to be a solution to this.
Yeah. Well, right. I mean, after one or two times, you're like, all right, let's try this thing out. So, but yeah, I mean, we've seen it grow over the last couple of years pretty significantly. We've had tint shops reaching out to us like, hey, I want to get set up and start offering your product, or they've had enough people come in and ask for our product itself, or people just buy from us, take to them, whatever have you. But it's grown pretty well. So
yeah, it makes sense. I don't know if anybody else is doing this. There may be. Of course, we're not here to talk to them about this, about their product. I would assume that you guys are the number one windshield defense product.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to brag, but I would say that we're definitely the best.
Yeah, and you come from a racing, the realm of racing, which means that you guys really have to perform in very harsh environments.
Yeah, I mean, one of the claim to fames, and credit to the owners and everybody that helped create it, we don't leave an adhesive behind when you tear off a layer. So obviously in racing, if that happened, we'd be out of that pretty quickly.
Oh yeah, because you got to stop to clean the windshield. What's the
Or
point?
you're driving and you're getting everything stuck on it, so that ain't gonna work. But yeah, so I mean, you can tear a layer off and nothing happens. It goes with the discarded layers. So it's it's pretty cool to see when you do it yourself and how well it works. Where others, they might peel off in small shards or leave adhesive behind, and
Oh, that'd be horrible. I don't even care if you're not racing, just having to deal with that. And you can pull these things off anywhere, right? I mean, if you get into a situation where you go, I just can't see as clearly as I want to, time to peel a layer. I mean, you just pull over and do it.
yeah, honestly, you take a razor blade, right? And we have a YouTube link to it that it's like a minute long. But you take a razor blade, you get it just lifted enough to where you can grab it, and you
Right.
just tear it off. It takes you 2 minutes tops. Whereas some other stuff, you take it off. Honestly, you have to take that in to get it taken off because it's a nightmare. Who knows how long it could take? It could take a half an hour. It could take 2 hours.
Right. Okay, so easy to install, but you can just take it to any tinting shop or a dealership that does window tints. They can install it. It doesn't take very long. What is the price for the product all the same, whether it's a Bronco or, and we should mention that because I see here on the website, Jeep, Bronco, I don't know what an Ineos is, G-Wagon, which is Mercedes, I believe. So it is for several manufacturers.
Yeah, so no, they're not all the same. Jeep is $230 normally.
Mm-hmm.
Ineos, which is a new model, I guess you could say it's kind of a mixture of a Jeep and a G-Wagon, probably be the best way to put it.
Okay.
But yeah, it's a newer market in the US, I think coming from France, but that's 250. The G class is 300, and then the Bronco is 350.
Good. I'm glad those Bronco owners are having to pay more. So I just was asking about the price. I mean, let's talk about Jeep, Jeep 230. So that is less than what I paid for my deductible to get the windshield replaced. And that's kind of the direction I'm going on this is, you're going to spend, $250, depending on your deductible, at least $250 to have your windshield replaced by the insurance company.
And I mean, per layer, it's closer to like 75. But yeah, I mean, if you've broken enough windshields and you've had a deal with your insurance company, it's, why not? I mean, why not deal with the headache anymore?
Yeah. I think the insurance company was giving me static until they finally asked, does it obstruct the driver's vision? And I said, well, it comes across, it's just underneath my line of vision. And apparently that was the buzzword or the buzz term they needed. And they said, yeah, we'll set it up. So you can have all this damaged glass all over. The passenger they don't care. But when it starts obstructing your vision as a driver, then that's when they're interested in replacing your windshield.
Yeah, which, it's funny that you have to, I guess, think about what you're going to say to go get your insurance to do what you paid them to do.
Exactly.
But yeah, it's funny how things work sometimes.
And the neat thing about this is that you put it on there and now you don't have to wait for somebody to come and install the windshield, even if they come to your house, and have to deal with the insurance company and so on and so forth. So the next key piece of information here, which you can probably find out all this stuff at windshieldefense.com, but since it's an interview, I'm going to ask, how long does it last? How long does one layer last? I mean, I know it just depends, but generally speaking, how do you guys answer it?
So, right, saying depends is a big thing before because we answer it all the time. But so to be clear for everybody listening, it comes as one piece, right? It's 3 layers laminated together, and you install it as one piece. So then each layer, on average, from what we've seen, 9 months probably per layer. So 2.5 years for all 3 of them on average. But again, depends on where you live, how much driving you're doing. If you drive it every day, probably 9 months. If you drive it on the weekends, you might get closer to a year out of per layer. So you might get 3 years out of the whole thing. But yeah, I mean, 9 to 12 months is probably what we see on average, I would say. But it just depends, like you said.
Hey Jeepers, Tony here from the Jeep Talk Show. You know how you protect your phone screen with a protector? Now you can do the same thing for your Jeep, Bronco, Ineos, or G-Wagon. Windshield Defense by Racing Optics is a triple-layered, race-tested solution that installs in under 20 minutes, right at home or with your local installer. Made in the USA and trusted for over 25 years, it keeps your view crystal clear and your windshield safe from rock, debris, or whatever the trail throws your way. Don't let a rock end your ride. Protect your windshield, protect your story, and keep the adventure rolling. And now save 20% with code JTS20 at windshieldefense.com. That's windshieldefense.com, promo code JTS20. Born from racing. All right, I don't see any downside to this. I mean, it'd be nice if it was $50, but then again, if it was $50, it wouldn't work as good, I don't think, because you guys have put time and effort into it, and it's a quality product. But I do like that it is cost, even if you've got the best, which is the $250 deductible, it's less than that deductible. So unless you know how to steal a windshield and install it yourself, you're not going to be able to protect your windshield any cheaper. You're not going to be able to replace it for anything cheaper than what this product costs.
Yeah, I mean, we stand behind our product for sure. We've seen it work and we know it works. So, if it's $50, I don't know that I would want to buy it, right? So. Yeah. Well,
and that's a discussion we've had about the show too. The show's free. And sometimes people say, well, it must not be that good if you don't have to pay for it.
Right. I mean, so you get quality with it, right? And I mean, I don't know that it's crazy expensive, especially with some people. The stories we've heard at Jeep events are, once they pay 2, 3, or 4 windshields, they just start climbing with these claims. So, a $230 windshield defense, it doesn't make sense.
Well, and I suspect your insurance rates will go up depending on how many windshields you go through.
Yeah, that or they might drop you.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so you guys, and I think I remember this from talking with Chris. I think you may have dealt with Chris on some of the getting the interview set up, or maybe spoke with Chris before at an event. Chris was telling me that oh gosh, I think I've lost it. What I was going to say. He was telling me about you guys. I completely lost it. Let's take a pause here. I'm going to go to another track.
No worries.
All right. So we've covered the price. We've covered the installation. We've covered that your insurance deductible is going to be more than purchasing this product. I think it's a good idea to have one of these on hand whenever you're going to get your windshield replaced. I would not wait too long to do it. Hell, check with the windshield replacement company, but they may even be able to install it for you. So is this something that I was watching a bit of a video earlier. Is this something that one person could install, or do you need another set of hands to get it layered on there at the beginning?
So I've done it one by myself, and I've done it with the help of another. We definitely recommend having 2 people do it, just because when
it's a large sheet of plastic. Yeah.
When you're putting it up on the windshield, it's just easier, obviously. And you run the risk when you do it by yourself, you might get, dust, debris, dirt, something caught when you're going to put it on the windshield. So yeah, it's way, way easier doing with 2 people.
Mm-hmm. So whenever you go to peel off a layer, you say it lasts about 9 months. Does it depend on whether it's kept in a garage or outside in the sun? Does the sun have some deleterious effects to this?
Yeah, so I live in Florida, right? And the sun is brutal here. I park it out in the parking lot all day, every day, and I still get about 9 months with it. And truthfully, I haven't had it on long enough to where I just tear it off anyway. I bet it still could have kept going, but I take it off every about 9 months. For shows and whatnot, put a new one on.
You don't want to go to a show and have something that doesn't look good.
I mean, it has to have 3 layers on it too, right? Because if I show up with one, then what's the point? But
right.
If you put it in your garage, it for sure will last longer. And that, if you take it through car washes, it'll last longer. You treat it like you would a windshield.
Right. And I would assume that whenever you're cleaning the windshield, or whoever's going to do it for you, the windshield has to be cleaned very, very well. Do you recommend taking a straight razor and a safety razor and cleaning up anything that maybe the cleaning didn't take care of?
Yeah, if you have stickers on or vinyl graphics, anything like that, that you might have that residue left over with, it wouldn't be
Oh
a
yeah,
bad
good
idea.
point.
I mean, you could do it anyway. There's no wrong answer really. The better that you clean it, the better it'll look.
Yeah.
But I mean, that might be overkill for the average DIYer.
Oh, good.
I don't know that you need to do that, but I mean, it's a good idea for sure if you have vinyl graphics on there that you take off. But yeah, I mean, really just cleaning it with glass cleaner, spraying it down with the solution that we give, wiping that off, and then throwing the solution on the windshield defense and put that back on the windshield really is kind of all you need. It's just key that you want to do it inside. Do it like in a garage or somewhere that's not blowing wind, so that when you go to put it on the windshield, you're not catching everything and anything in the air, right? So, because if you see it on there, it's not going to look very good. And like I said earlier, you're not going to, once you see it, you can't unsee it.
Right. It's worth taking it to a place to have it done, because they're going to do it inside, and they're also going to do it in the right temperature range. Because I would imagine that like window tint, you need to have something that's not too cold outside or not too hot when you're applying this.
Yeah, I mean, ideally, like 60 degree to 80 degree, just something like room temperature, something like that, is ideal. But yeah, if you're not comfortable with it, just again, a local tint shop, they really would have no issue with it.
And you're only looking at doing this every 2.5 years. So
yeah, I mean,
bad deal.
It's not. And again, you drop it off in the morning, you pick it up in the afternoon. If you want to leave it there for a while, really you could drop it off and stay there and then drive away with it an hour or two later if you wanted. But
so we mentioned the JL, the Gladiator, but you guys have them for other Jeeps as well, right?
Yeah, so we go back to the TJ, the Wrangler TJ. We got the JK, the newer JL, and the Gladiator.
And it's the Wrangler and the Gladiators. You don't have it for the other Jeeps. So I like to call them Ginos, Jeep in name only, like the Compass and the Renegade.
Yeah, the TJ is as far back as we go right now, just because well, you
have to have an audience for it.
Yeah,
you can't just have them sitting on the shelf, right?
Right. I mean, we want to, but at the same time, we got to have the volume for it.
Oh, of course. So is there any significant difference between the TJ and the Gladiator or the Wrangler as far as installation? Is the windshield smaller? Is it easier to install? I mean, I'm asking you stuff you may never have done a TJ before.
I have not, but I do work with someone that has a TJ. The process is the same. It's not any harder or easier. So yeah, it's just the sizes of the windshields that differ. So other than that, there's really no difference.
Yeah. So these things are pre-cut. I have not watched an installation video, which you guys can do that. It's very easy to go and watch and see. And I recommend that. I recommend that before doing any work on your Jeep. Go look at that on YouTube first. At least you'll know where to start too, where the part is that you're going to be changing or augmenting. But do you soap up the windshield and so that you can put the windshield defense on there and move it around and get it in the right place and then squeegee it into place like you would window tint?
Yeah. So the video we have on our website is 5 minutes. It's not long. But yeah, in the kit it has a spray bottle, which is just baby soap and distilled water, for everybody that wants to make their own. But yeah, you spray everything really. Spray the hood, spray the windshield, spray the film, spray you if you want.
Spray your helper, if you want to have some fun. Yeah.
And spray their hands, spray them, make sure any dog hair doesn't get up. But yeah, the more the better. And slap the windshield on, spray on top of the windshield defense so your squeegee can glide on it.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, you can use the whole bottle if you want. There's no point in saving it.
So that's a good point too. I believe it was you that sent me a windshield defense system for my wife's TJ, and it was for the TJ because the Gladiator windshield is broken. So I've only opened up the box, and there's a big cardboard tube in there that has the windshield defense wrapped around it, which is neat because it's not in a tight bundle. You guys really thought that through. where it's already kind of open or not. You don't have to worry about creases and things, which would be a killer. I mean, if you got that thing brand new and there was a crease in it.
Yeah.
But what else is in the installation package?
But our Chris has gone through a great deal of figuring out the best way to package and ship it. So I think where it's at now is pretty good. It shows up, nice and tight. It's not going to move, and it's easy to unpack. And
I was impressed with the packaging. I thought it was very nice.
Yeah, I mean, we've gotten a lot of feedback on it, good and bad, throughout the years. So we've adjusted things, and I think where it is now is pretty dang good. So, and if it does show up creased or whatever, then obviously just reach out and we'll get it fixed. But
right. So what else in the kit? I think you mentioned a spray bottle. Is there a squeegee in there as well?
Yeah. Yep. Which we have.
So really, it's everything you need.
Yeah. Right. And I mean, you can reach, and there's other things, like you said, a razor you can use, but everything that you would need, we send you, which is just a squeegee and spray bottle.
Yeah. So you use your own, would Windex be okay to use on the windshield to get it clean, or is that something that you should stay away from?
Yeah. I mean, you could. We say ammonia-free glass cleaner, which I don't know if Windex is or not. I don't know, but I mean, you can use it to clean and then wipe off, and
let it dry.
Yeah, let it do that, and then use our solution to spray, wipe off, and then start the install process. But yeah, I mean, really just a quick clean before you start is the best case scenario for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you definitely want to, if you've never done window tint, you want to make sure it's very clean, and doing it inside is a really good idea, because that hair or whatever is sandwiched between the glass and the plastic is going to haunt you for the rest of your life.
Yeah, I've had a hair on the passenger side before, and it's hard to miss.
Yeah. All right. So is there anything, any other products that you guys sell that you wanted to talk about? I mean, you got anything for the side windows, the back glass? I mean, I think the windshield is the critical piece, but I don't know if you, maybe have something for the side windows or something planned for the future.
Not yet. No, it's really just the windshields right now. We have had people ask for the soft top, the back windows, which would be cool, but again, it's kind of more of a volume type thing.
Right.
Would it be worth to put the time and resources into that? But short answer, no, not yet. It's just focusing on the windshields and kind of trying to grow that and get that figured out. Which we just got into Mopar not too long ago. So you can get it at Jeep dealerships now as well. They see the legitimacy in that, and
so Jeep Performance Parts, I think you're talking about.
Yeah, so I mean, you could go and order online or go to a dealership, and they can help you out as well.
So I'm actually working with a company that is going to be selling their own package of Jeeps called Gear, and you actually can order the Gear Jeep from the dealership, any JPP dealerships that are out there, or associated dealerships out there. Could this be something that you could order on your windshield whenever you're getting a brand new Jeep?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, that would be the sweet thing, because it's not, it's clean. It doesn't have any marks on it, and you just get this product straight on there from the factory. So that's one thing you can ask about.
We like to look at it as it's an accessory, or obviously, but it's more or less really the one that you need to help solve a problem, where a lot of the other ones are fun and cool, but I don't know that you need all of them. Right. Don't get me wrong, I want them, but this one actually, to prevent your windshield from breaking.
Well, you don't really think about it, do you? Unless you are a long-time Jeep owner and you know what to expect as far as what's going to happen to that windshield. If you're a brand new Jeep Wrangler or Gladiator owner, you're not thinking about this issue, and especially if it's that newfangled Gorilla Glass that still breaks and cracks. So This is an excellent opportunity. I'm glad you mentioned that about being with Mopar. This is an excellent opportunity to just get it on, and when you take delivery of the vehicle, you go to pick it up, it's already done.
Yeah, and you don't have to worry about it. Which, I mean, if you're going to get the Gorilla Glass, which can still break sometimes, unfortunately, this is another one that can just throw on top of that and destroy this film instead of your glass.
Right. Well, this is really good. So you can get it installed many places. You don't have to install it yourself. You can get it before you go pick up your Jeep, your brand new Jeep. It costs about the same or less than a deductible on your insurance. It protects your windshield. And I guess we haven't mentioned this. Sometimes you can get those chips in the absolute worst place. And I would think that it would most likely would happen when you're 1,000 miles from home.
It's always the worst timing, right?
Yeah. And so if you have this, and I don't think we can say that you won't get any breakage, but in most cases, you're not going to get damage to the windshield. I mean, obviously there's things that could be going a certain speed, a certain angle, a certain size and weight that it's still going to damage the glass. But this gives you the ability to get through most stuff based on what you guys have investigated.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it is still plastic, right? It's a plastic piece of film, so it can definitely still break if something big enough hits it. But if it wasn't there, it was going to break the glass anyway. Maybe a lot worse. So, but your everyday stuff, that this film does a pretty dang good job.
That's great. And you've had it on your Jeep for a while.
Yeah. When did I install mine? I installed it just before Jeep Beach, so not that long. But the one previous to that was July 4th, and that was all 3 layers. So I had kind of reset it. So I think I installed the new one in end of March. So whatever July is to March, and I would have kept one, but I wanted the new one for the show and to show everybody, a high quality one. But yeah, they last a long.
I guess it's kind of hard to show off too. You see that stuff there that you can't see? That protects your windshield.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of our markets too. Like one for graffiti, for example, it might be in a elevator or on gas pumps or trains or something. It's on the wall, and nobody would ever notice it because it's a clear piece of plastic, right? But
yeah,
it's funny. It's hard to market sometimes, but that's why we're trying to push it. With the help.
I bet you it's really hard to market to the people that have not gone through the horror of the cracked and broken windshield. And it can get really, really bad. I mean, the Gladiator was really bad. I never had that much trouble. We haven't had that much trouble with the TJ. Actually, I don't know that it's that the TJ is free of any marks and stuff. I don't think it is, but I'm gonna have to look at that before I install the windshield defense on the TJ.
Yeah, I mean, I went out and looked at mine, and I had a mar on it from when I put on this new piece, and which is just from before, but they happen at the worst time, right? Like you said.
Yeah. So get it on there, and especially get it on there when you're getting the windshield replaced. You'll be very happy that you did. Actually, you will be so happy that you don't even have to worry about it. It's like, well, yeah, I got that, put it on there, but nothing's happened. Well, maybe it did, and you just didn't notice it because the windshield defense was doing its job.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you might even see it, I've had it happen to myself. I've had people come up and tell me where they'll see a rock come, or maybe they just hear it and they kind of wait, look around, and they don't see anything. Like, all right, it worked.
Yeah, that's what we did in the Gladiator. We heard that noise, and it's like, oh, I think we got out clean. And I think it hit at the very top of the windshield, and then the crack started forming down.
Yeah.
So
right.
You never know. But that's as I say, that's all part of being one of the cool kids. I mean, you could get a vehicle that has a very curved windshield, both side to side and angled back, and you're less likely to have rock damage. But what fun would that be, not to have a Jeep?
Yeah, there's the fun in that, right?
Exactly. All right, Tyler. So you know how the kids love the social media. Where can they find the windshield defense system? And is it Racing Optics or Windshield Defense, or yes?
Windshield Defense. So you can just look us up on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and find us on there. YouTube.
So Racing Optics, that is, what do you buy there? Would that be the people that race cars? So that would go to that?
Yeah, more tear offs for racing, that side of things. So Windshield Defense is our own website, whereas Racing Optics is its own website.
And I think you said this already, is the Racing Optics the parent company?
Yeah, more or less.
So they've been around. They've been around a long time, and then you guys started doing the windshield defense, probably more for the consumer market.
Yeah, just branding, really.
Right. All right, Tyler. Well, thank you very much for being with us today. To me, it sounds like a fantastic product. We have a Jeep Talk Show team member that has, I think they did either did an interview or maybe did a video interview at an event, Larry, Jeeping Mo. And whenever you guys reached out to us, I went and asked him, I said, hey, what's your take on this product? And he's, it's wonderful. And then I've got a buddy, Greg, over at Underground Graphics, that was talking to me about possibly coming and bringing the Gladiator in and doing a video of the installation and stuff. And I said, I got a crack in it. It was, we can't do it then. So I know a couple of people that I've known for quite a while that really like your product. And now that I've got the one for the TJ, I can comment on it after I get it installed and talk to the clarity and the ease of installation. So, and I'm sure it's fine. I've done window tint many times since, I think the first time I did it, I was 16 years old. So
this should be a walk in the park then.
Yeah. Well, the first time I did it was I put it on and it sticks. And then I started to read, I read the instructions once I ripped all that off and I went, oh, you're supposed to use soapy water so you can position it.
Yeah. Which we do that for you. So don't worry.
Yeah. So it's already there, so just don't try to stick it on. You need to get it where you can position it. Yeah. It's a lot easier when you position it.
You do have a minute or two to kind of line it up the way you need to. So it's not like you stick it on there and it's like, well, I hope I did it.
We're going to go with this. I think we've all seen the bad window tint on the rear glass with all the bubbles.
Oh yeah.
And those poor bastards.
Yeah.
And they leave it on too. All right, Tyler, thank you very much for being with us here today. And we'll have to get you back on really, really soon.
Yeah. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Broadcasting since 2010.
You're my friend. You're my new friend.